Working. Been way up for a minute now. Hold up, it's been a minute. Wow, I've been way up. I can feel it now. Tell my family I'ma get it.
All right, people. You guys are watching and or listening to another Nomadic Cole video for your entertainment. Be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and of course, subscribe for more epic, awesome, cool, funny content just like this one right here, right now on the Nomadic Cole YouTube channel, because this shit is for your entertainment. That's right, people. This shit is for your entertainment. So again, if you haven't already, leave a like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe for more. We've got a bit of a video to go into. It might be a little bit on the longer side since I do have quite a few things to cover. But yeah, we're only a couple of days into Donald Trump's administration. And so far we're already seeing a lot of big changes right off the bat, you know. Just a lot of new executive orders being put through. I did mention on the Let Me Talk to You podcast about the executive orders that were being pushed through. I said there was over 100 of them. So far, over 80 have gotten through. And yeah, I mean, there's just a whole laundry list of all sorts of topics that are in these executive orders that Trump has been signing recently. And a lot of it is causing, as always with Donald Trump, a lot of controversy. And it's very interesting to watch for sure. Very cool. Some of it is questionable for sure. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we? And then there's some other things as well. Some stuff from the actual inauguration itself. You know, some stuff like that. So yeah, it's, you know, definitely a lot to talk about. But I'm going to talk about a few main concepts, few main points that I wanted to talk about. The first one, probably the least important one of all of them, is the Elon salute thing. Oh my goodness. So it's a crazy thing. Elon goes out on Inauguration Day and he is talking to the crowd, basically just giving a speech, a thank you speech for helping to elect Donald Trump, saying how important the election was and whatnot. And everything seemed to be going fine and dandy. And then Elon Musk went to wave goodbye to the crowd, and he puts his hand on his heart. He slaps it. He clutches his heart. And then with full oomph, his face, you can see in the picture, his face with full oomph goes, oh, and he goes palms down and full Roman salutes, full on this motion. I'm not gonna do it. Then they're gonna cancel me, aren't they? If I do a Roman salute. And I just think it's funny because, like, you can find so many images and videos on the internet of Democrat politicians and even some Republican politicians making a similar motion, waving bye to the crowd as well. And you could say the same thing if you take it out of context. That's the point of these memes. People are getting mad about the memes. But if you really take it out of context, like, just like those photos, they're taken out of context. Elon's is out of context too, when they're saying, oh, he intentionally did this fascist salute. Now, some people have said, oh, it's his ASD, it's his autism, right? He makes very sharp movements, very fast, right? He jumps around on stage, you know, like a little cheerleader. He's just very, very socially awkward, and I get that. However, I mean, he put some oomph into it. It wasn't like how did you put no, it was straight into it. It was straight. He had oomph. He had intention. So I say maybe he's just trolling you guys. He did it on purpose, and this is typical Elon. He did it on purpose to get a rise out of the left, and in a week or so, the left is gonna completely forget about this. That's the conclusion I've come to on the Elon thing. I don't think it's that important. No, I don't think he's gonna be a freaking fascist. I do worry about some of his ideas and some of his technocracy ideas, basically. I do worry about a little bit of that. I do worry about his position on the H-1B, although he shouldn't have a real say in that. But I do have some qualms with him over H-1B and a couple of other things. But other than that, I don't think he's going to be a fascist. No, I don't think he's going to be a fascist at all. Another thing a lot of people are talking about is the LGBT stuff, because Donald Trump went, and one of the big things that he did was that he did away with a lot of the DEI stuff, which actually, if you ask me, is not that bad. I mean, it really isn't, okay? A lot of the DEI stuff is pork spending, okay? A lot of it is to make those stupid videos that you sit in and waste time and waste like an hour of time, and it's just a video telling you, oh, don't be sexist, don't be racist in the workplace. Basically just like, it's like just basic professionalism stuff, like pretty obvious stuff. That's what a lot of the DEI stuff. And then there's the hires. They have a quota to meet, and when they make these DEI hires, there's they get subsidies or whatever from the government. These government offices will get subsidized, and then when they meet these quotas for hiring a diversity, equity, and inclusion team or whatever, right? It's just a waste of money. It's a waste of spending. It's extra pork, and all it does is contribute to the overall bureaucracy of the whole system. You dig? Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. The DI stuff, yeah, I think I'm pretty glad most of that's gone. People are saying, oh, but it takes away workplace protections. No, all it does is he's taking away the DI stuff. Did he go ahead and did he say he's revoking the Civil Rights Act of 64 or the Equal Opportunity Employment Act of 65? No. Okay, so the rights are still fine then. The other one is the trans military ban. He did that the last time, okay? People will ask, oh, why does it have to be trans people? Well, because they suffer a mental illness. It's called gender dysmorphia. Can a person with autism get into the military? Not without an extensive laundry list of doctor's forms and health forms and forms about your prescription and doctor's notes. You have to get multiple doctor's notes. Not with, and then on top of it, they really want someone with a high ASVAB score too. So, I mean, if it takes all that just to get someone with a little bit of Asperger's syndrome to get into the military, then why should we hire someone with gender dysmorphia who has not just gender dysmorphia, they don't know what gender they are, but they also have other problems. They could have depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder. They could have, multi-personality disorder, all these sorts of things that need to be checked out by therapists at a hospital. I just don't think we need that. There's also all the controversy and obviously culture war politics that the military just doesn't need to be distracted by. And then there's the cost of actual health care for transgenders on the TRICARE system as well. Completely makes sense from a logistical point of view. You dig? Then there's also the no LGBTQ or BLM flags on government property. And that too also makes sense, Skip. It also makes sense. Why does it also make sense? Because it's going back to following U.S. flag code. The only flags that should be on a government building are the U.S. flag, the state flag, and maybe, depending on what it is, like a post office or military surplus building or something, a POW flag, which basically means POW, missing in action flag, which is a flag that is in honor of veterans, right? Also at maybe like a graveyard or something. Those are the only flags that are allowed. Unless you're going to an embassy and then you have other flags around. But if it's in the U.S. flag is going to be the highest flag there. Yeah, it's just going back to following U.S. flag code, and I just don't see it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Yeah, I just don't. I think the SJWs are just going absolutely nuts. They're saying that Donald Trump is going to put gay people in camps or whatever, but guess what? Okay, Donald Trump, before even Joe Biden was cool with gay people, Donald Trump was cool with gay people. Watch that episode of The Apprentice where he says some people like salad, some people like steak. Another big thing that I want to say is another thing that Donald Trump did is he hosted not just one, but multiple gay marriages at Mar-a-Lago. Another thing he did is he went to the UN and had them massively decriminalize homosexuality around the world. He took out all the anti-gay rhetoric from the Republican Party platform. And then the other thing he also did is he hired not only the first ever openly gay cabinet member, but he also hired another gay cabinet member this time to the Treasury. So I don't see how he's homophobic. I don't see why would he want to put the treasurer in a camp? That doesn't make sense. Skip. Doesn't make fucking sense. Okay. Yeah, the left is just absolutely batshit. Oh, and then there's the border thing as well. So yeah, Donald Trump's cracking down on the border. He's brought 1,500 National Guard soldiers to go down there to the border and to basically assist with data entry and with some logistics and surplus things, pretty much. They're not actually going to be in any law enforcement roles with ICE or with border security or whatnot, or the local police departments. But they will do some aid. They might even do, whip out the drones and helicopters down there just to keep an eye on things. But it's a step in the right direction. The border seriously needs fixing. There is a giant crisis down there. The big crisis is that there's all these people being trafficked in, there's drugs being trafficked in, there is weapons being trafficked in, and they need to be stopped. They need to be stopped, Skip. I don't care who you think it is. And Donald Trump also wants to do a bunch of deportations, but the main focus of the deportations is on gangs, people affiliated with gangs. MS-13, the cartels. Those are the main points that Donald Trump is focusing on. He's also brought up the foreign students thing. I disagree with him a little bit on the foreign students thing, that with the foreign students who supported Palestine, because the lines get a little bit blurry there, and I think it's going to get shot down anyways in the political theater of everything. The only other thing I kind of disagreed with was he did there was the federal ban on all documentation of an extra gender. I think that should go to the county level. If a county decides they need to put an other box at the bottom of male and female, so be it. It doesn't really harm anybody. It's a little bit of ink and it costs 2 seconds to put on or take off as needed. I think it's a county level issue and not a presidential level issue. That's my only dispute with it. Um, Other than that, I do believe there is only two genders, and I feel like non-binary people, they need therapy and they need some help figuring out themselves. It's really a self-experience sort of thing, a mental and spiritual growth sort of thing that they need to figure out their own. Um, and yeah, maybe they should, you know, give a good long thought about it, talk to some therapist before deciding, hey, I'm going to put a they, them, zir, or I'm a they, them on a driver's license or something drastic like that. I think that's a smart step in the right direction. One more thing before we go. RFK Jr. He's getting a Senate hearing to be confirmed to be Secretary of Department of Health and Human Services. We've waited, worked hard, a long time to go into that. RFK Jr. will have his hearing on January 29th. He said, pack the hall. So yeah, excited to see that movement go forward. Anyways, this is Nomadic Cole signing off. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already, leave a like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe for more.